Well, this is all extremely strange for me. Yet at one time, all this area of central Nottingham used to be what you could say was my natural habitat. I worked on the Arboretum here in Nottingham, just a couple of 100 yards further down that way. But I've returned with a mission. In autumn of last year, a specimen of Leiobunum species A appeared on the walls somewhere around here. I've got an accurate idea of where it was, but what I've come here for today is to try and track the species down and see what kind of numbers we have here right in the middle of Nottingham. It's also very different here now, far more built up. The Newton building on the left here has changed immensely. Not so much the main building, but what they've done to the rest of it. There used to be a wall and then a grass area all the way around at one time. The last time I trod these streets anyway. But the buff sandy coloured building is the back of the Royal Concert Hall, and Theatre Royal just beyond that. But it's on the university buildings we're concentrating. Just behind me there's a cut through called Bilby Walk, if I remember right, and that's where we start proceedings here. That's where Leiobunum species A, just a single female, was found last year. Hopefully we should be able to track it down. Just need the right kind of niche or ledges that are suitable for Leiobunum species A to aggregate underneath. We'll find out. And this is Bilby Walk. It's just a cut through between the streets. Comes out onto Shakespeare Street, if I remember right. There's an interesting and very possible likely ledge look on the right hand side on the old York stone building. Whether they'll be on there or on the brick building on the left, I've no idea, but I need to go round this older building. It's a magnificent building. I'll show you the front of it, and hopefully somewhere under those ledges will be an aggregation of Leiobunum species A. Well, it's a bit like a wind tunnel going through this walkway, but we have immediate success. I've had a quick count up and I can count 18 here, one of which resting somewhere underneath the ledge is one still juvenile, but as you can see with the white knees, these are all immature still. I do like it when things work out very quickly. Makes you wonder how they got here, but a likely possibility is that a lot of the buildings around here have undergone a lot of construction work over the years, and in fact buildings have been demolished and new buildings put up. So coming in on material, wooden pallets, things like that, has probably been the way in for Leiobunum species A into the middle of Nottingham. We have another singleton here, so this makes 19, and this one's just around the opposing ledge to the group that you've just seen, and I think they're all going to be still immature that I find, if I find any more. But I'm pleased with 19. I'm pleased with finding them. Excellent stuff. Well, that's looking further out onto Shakespeare Street from this sort of dogleg section of Bilby Walk. And the good news is I found a bigger group of Leiobunum species A. And this is them nicely on, I was going to say, nicely sat on these walls, but as you can see, they've all now done a runner. I have got a still image, so which you can use to count, but I will have a quick count while we're here. $18 on that wall there. There's 34 by my reckoning. The other ones that have gone around the side will eventually come round and relocate back onto this wall within a few minutes. Brilliant. We could get quite a count if this species is more widespread, but I'm still on that same section of wall, just like an alcove further round, and already they're starting to come in and re-aggregate again. I'll give it another half an hour, we'll pop back and have a look at this lot before I leave. But it's that wall at the top of those stairs, that's where Leiobunum species A is in 2 aggregations and 1 singleton. What I'm going to do is follow the building round on the left of the screen and follow that same ledge as it goes along. Hopefully we can find some more, because I'm sure there's more Leiobunum species A in this area than just what's on that wall. But I'm very pleased with the count of 53 so far. That beats Worksop Priory. Well, it's a cracking building, this. Been here for a year or two, and no sign of any further Leiobunum species A, but I have seen box moth just further around the corner. That's the first ever sighting of box moth in Nottinghamshire. I found the caterpillar. It's a really attractive if rather destructive moth and associated caterpillars, but I've still got some more of this to check yet, so I'll have a walk along there and see if we can turn this beast up. Well, I have managed to find 2 small groups of Leiobunum species A, and they're just round that block that sticks out there, just on the other side of that, and tucked in the recesses under the ledge, the same as at the top of Bilby Walk. Now, the 2 groups include a group of 3 and a group of 5. So, by my reckoning, that takes us on to 59. Or 58. I can't remember what I said before, but we've increased the count. We'll see if we can take it over 60, because I need to retrace some steps now, because smaller groups of Leiobunum species A, and if they're sat under the lip of that recess, are not always easy to see, even though the legs are about 4 inches in length. Well, I've come around the rest of this beautiful York stone building. No further sign of any Leiobunum species A, so the plan of attack now is to go around the other side of the Newtonian building and then round the front of that building and back to the point where we started this video, and to check those walls there. I'm pretty convinced that Leiobunum species A has arrived here purely due to the building works, and it's come on some building supply, and that's pretty much how it's got around the UK, I think. But there's been a lot of building. In fact, I seem to think or recollect that this building's been sandblasted within the last 15-20 years. That's not good for anything that lives on walls, so I'm surprised we've got Leiobunum species A here at all. But there's a large tower block going up just across Shakespeare Street from where I'm stood now, so buildings are still going up here in Nottingham at a rate of knots, you could say. So let's check these other walls now, see if we can turn Leiobunum species A up elsewhere. It's starting to look like rain, but back here on Bilby Walk, the 2 aggregations of Leiobunum species A are just tucked around that wall on the right of camera, but there's another one You see the drain pipe in the corner underneath the top collection box. There's an aggregation of another 18, so that takes us to around the 70 mark. And I found odd ones dotted around as well. In fact, there's one just right at the entrance to the Newton building, and right at the side of it is the Noble False Widow. So, several nice records this visit's produced today. It just shows you that it pays to keep your eyes open, even in the most unlikely of situations.